Recording in progress.
Good evening, I'd like to call the March 18th Town Board meeting to order. Everyone please rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
He was 101. He's been in town forever. Yeah, we should.
All right. I'd like everyone to rise and have a moment of silence for Harold Gold, who just passed away at 101 years old. Thank you. All right. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. We're going to start off our meeting with a public hearing. I'm just going to read the public hearing notice. All right. Notice of public hearing is hereby given that the town board of the town of Fallsburg will hold the public hearing held open on Tuesday, March 18, 2025 at 6 p.m. at Town Hall Meeting Room at 19 Railroad Plaza, South Fallsburg, New York, relative to the Fallsburg Consolidated Sewer District improvements. Should you have any questions in this regard, please feel free to contact the Fallsburg Town Clerk, Paul Grogan. The public may also participate via Zoom. And this is regarding Resolution 19 of 2025. All right, do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So this is one of the many steps that we have to take in the upgrade of the South Fallsburg wastewater treatment plant. We have to have a public hearing prior to passing a bond resolution, and also declaring that this is in the public interest to upgrade our wastewater treatment plant. Do we have anyone here that would like to comment on public hearing tonight? Do we have anyone online that would like to comment?
No.
Okay. All right, no one wants to comment, then I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes and the public hearing is hereby closed. All right, I'm just gonna move on to my supervisor's report. All right, I'd first like to start off by expressing my sincere appreciation to all of our town residents that came out to the public hearing 2 weeks ago in Hurleyville. We've had well over 400 town residents in attendance communicating their concerns to this board. I was inspired by the participation of so many civic-minded citizens in our town, including many teenagers that came to watch democracy in action. Between comments made in person and written comments sent in, we've received well over 100 comments on the proposed zoning changes. Considering there's so much at stake here, this board is going to take its time and do our due diligence to work with the county's planning department to address the 239 review, as well as working with the attorneys representing our residents to ensure we do not pass any legislation with severe unintended consequences. I believe we can keep the public hearing open for the written comments during this period and share any changes with the public prior to taking any final action. Thanks to your public comments, the board has also begun internal discussions about funding a new comprehensive plan, as well as ensuring that the next comprehensive planning committee has reliable water and sewer data, such as the aquifer study the DRDC is requiring from the town, and the county-wide water and sewer study that the county is investing hundreds of thousands of dollars to complete. I encourage the public to continue to stay involved and committed to the type of sustainable growth that future generations will thank us for long after we're done. Thank you. I just want to make one more announcement. This Saturday night at Resorts World Casino, we'll have the PBA comedy show. There's still tickets available. Just ask any police officer, reach out, and they'll be able to help you out with that. Next up, we're going to move on to something very important to us. and that is the appreciation plaque for our own Gary Tavermina. Gary has been on the planning board and zoning board in this town for well over 20 years, as well as serving in political office on this town board during the 80s. I'd like Gary to stand up and come forward. Can we all come around?
Yeah, we'll come to
Then I'd like to
you.
present to you.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
come to
you
you.
stay where you are. In appreciation of your 20 years of dedication and service to this town, I would like to present you with this appreciation award.
Can we get like a little better
Yeah.
situation here? Paula's hidden in the back.
What do you want?
Like that, spread around.
Why do I have to be in the front?
Paula and Nate need to come like forward a little. You guys come, just move up this way. Yeah.
Please table.
It is, move up this way. Move up closer. This way. Move this way. Move.
Everybody, move
Yes.
forward.
Thank you.
It's always me, being the bad guy.
Nate's
There you
still
go.
in. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone, let's give Gary the floor, please.
Where do you start? That's my question. I start by being elected by the people of this town to represent you. That was an honor. Then the other part of it was after I left the town board, they elected me to the zoning board. They had confidence in me. Then they put me on the planning board. This could not have happened if it was not for the citizens of this community. They had faith in me, they elected me, and they supported me. And I support them. Thank you very much.
Next up, we're going to have Councilwoman Behan present the key to the town to Nancy McLean.
Nancy McLean, you want to come up?
Nancy!
It's my honor to present the key to the town to Nancy McLean. She's an EMT. We had kids that were playing football last summer, and our ambulance wanted $1,000 just to sit there to watch kids. Well, Nancy McLean stepped up, and she did it on her own. Nobody asked her, and she took care of those kids. If anybody got hurt, you saw this woman running. She took care of those kids. I can't say enough about her. Congratulations. You deserve it.
Let's get the board together for a group picture.
No.
It's a little lopsided that way.
That's right. You can move over.
You coming?
Just take a step.
Lopsided.
You gotta come up with a plan.
I'm gonna put X's on the floor where they stand.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, now I can do my thing with this. Oh, boy.
One more.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Okay, I've appeared in front of the board before, and I would like to thank the board again for allowing me to be here. Chief Pavesi, for allowing me to be here. As Miranda said, I've been an EMT. I'll show my age. Stop, Martin, please. I've been an EMT over 43 years serving the town of Fallsburg. I've had the honor of working with many of the police officers that are currently here, that have come, that have gone, and hopefully those that are coming in the future. This is the first time the police chief has allowed me to publicly honor 2 officers. I would like to have Officer Gonzalez and Officer Yeomans please come join me. These 2 gentlemen, as well as some of the others in this room, I have had the honor of dealing with some major EMS calls, as well as Officer Vogler, in the town of Fallsburg. If it wasn't for these officers, and I'll be honest, giving me my first and hopefully last ride in a police car, if it wasn't for these 2 gentlemen, on Christmas Day, as we all know, EMS is short in the county. If it wasn't for these 2 officers, this gentleman probably would have died. So a certificate of appreciation and dedication to express my heartfelt appreciation goes to Martin Gonzalez for his unwavering dedication, outstanding performance, and valuable contributions to the community during an emergency situation. There's one for Really? I don't like my picture taken.
Too late now.
Is it?
Embrace it.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Now let's have more of this.
No.
Congratulations. You want to get in?
So, he's gonna read for correspondence. For tonight?
Yeah,
Yep.
just a quick letter.
Nathan, Nathan, come in, let's all take a picture together first.
Okay.
And then you can read. Jeff in the back.
You wanna stop with the camera?
That's the whole
Huh? I did, I really did. Okay.
Thank you.
One more.
One more. I feel like you didn't get me in that picture, I'm really upset about that. All right. That's from that,
So, just so everybody knows, you heard what Nancy said, I did a quick letter for the guys that goes in their personnel file that I just want to read to everybody. It goes just in a little bit more depth of what happened that day. Officer Martin Gonzalez, Officer Eric Yeomans, this letter is to inform you of your outstanding display of service to your community. On Wednesday, December 25th, 2024, the above officers was dispatched by Sullivan County 911 to State Route 42 in Woodburn to intercept a vehicle with a male subject having a medical emergency. In under 3 minutes, officers located the vehicle, pulled over in the Immaculate Conception Church parking lot, and after finding out that the male subject was having an allergic reaction to black mold and that his airway was closing, the officers loaded him into the back of the patrol car and expedited travel to meet up with an advanced life support ambulance. Once they rendezvoused with the ambulance, the male subject was transported to Garner Health Center in Harris, where he was treated and made a full recovery. In a situation like this, every second counts. The officer's split-second decision making to load him into the back of the patrol car and not wait for the ambulance undoubtedly saved this man's life on Christmas Day. You are commended for your outstanding job you performed. This letter will be placed in your personnel file and read before the town board. Thank you for your dedication to the police department, the community you serve. I am proud to serve this community with both of you. Thank you, guys. Great job.
Take a picture with your families.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Guys, did you want to take a picture with your families?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on up.
Eric will make me do it. I'll take it myself. Do it.
Mom. Yeah. Mom.
Made me do it.
Cheese. Got that one?
Okay,
Eric? Come on.
yes.
You sure?
You want me to get a picture of you sitting there, or you?
Thank you.
Come on. Eric doesn't want any autographs.
All right, continuing on. So down here in a minute.
We're not gonna stay.
All right, we're gonna move on with our regular meeting. If anyone wants to leave, they could, but they're more than welcome to stay till the end. Thank you very much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Nancy, please, it's the box.
Thank you.
All right, on to correspondence, or continuing with correspondence.
I would like to say something. Can I say something about the last public hearing that we had?
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to call out Jen because, like, she did the spearheading of that meeting. It was a lot of people. It was over 430 people, and Jen spearheaded the whole thing with Emily over there, and it was amazing. I can't believe that it went so seamlessly. We did have a lot of help from a lot of people, but she really did the heavy lifting, and I was really grateful because it could have gone any way. And
Thank you, Paul. I couldn't have done it without you.
well, I was just amazed at how well it went.
All right, if there's no further correspondence, I'll go ahead and open it up to public comments. Do we have anyone that would like to speak tonight?
Our usual suspect.
James Legari.
Yes, I didn't have time to do the research in this because I'm sure if I would have had time, I would be asking this question. This has to do with resolution number 24. And when I read here on the agenda, it looks like you guys are gonna have to put in some monitoring wells because there's been a spill of some sort. And the type of monitoring that you're going to be doing would indicate that the spill is probably a petroleum or petroleum device type of a spill. So my question is that if this is not the responsible, if this isn't on town property and the town's not responsible for the spill, that means somebody else is. And if you haven't identified them, then they probably should be. And if you already know who they are, my real question is how come the EPA or some other government entity like that is not already on the scene helping you all? Because if we're contaminating either a nearby stream or our underground water supply in any way, my experience has been that once the contamination has happened, they're non-reversible, and the only way you can prevent that from happening is and make the water still potable. It's going to be very expensive filtering devices. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, James.
I will address that in detail when we get to it.
Thank you, Mike.
Can we have Mary Adams, please?
Good evening, and yes, I do really want to thank you for the meeting, and the way that that really turned out at the HPAC on the 4th. It was very professional, it allowed everyone to speak, it was civil, and it was I found it very respectful of all people. So I really thank you for the efforts, because it was a big effort. I have just a comment I want to make about the discussion at the end of the meeting regarding a potential zone change for Fallsburg Drive. I believe that is, well, maybe I'm not right. I'm not sure if that's Fallsburg Estates or if that's a private residence. But in any case, I just want to say with the zoning amendment still not resolved, I would really like to recommend that no zoning changes are considered at this time. And if it is Fallsburg Estates, I am aware that they are in the process with their seeker. They have an ongoing, groundwater control issue that has not been resolved and gone on for a very long time. So I just really want to consider not making any big changes for this development until these things are resolved.
Okay, well, since it's actually coming off the agenda tonight, I'll just quickly clarify it for you. This was taken off the agenda for tonight, and the presenter is gonna come back next month to present on it. It's for this specific parcel, it's not for that development. It's zone business, and I think they're looking to do something residential, but we'll know more when they present next month.
Great, thank you, that's great.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak here tonight? Is there anyone online, please?
No.
Okay, looks like we're done.
Okay, then if that's the case, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period, and we'll move on to our agendas. Number 1, motion to approve town board minutes dated 2/25/25.
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 2, motion to approve payroll warrants dated 2/6/25 in the amount of $32,293.80.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 3, motion to approve payroll warrants dated 2/12/25 in the amount of $288,872.33.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. I regret to have to mention this motion publicly. Officer Garofalo, who's been a dedicated officer to this town, has unfortunately, is planning on moving to greener pastures with the New York State Police. We wish him well. I wish I didn't have to read this motion, maybe we can deny it. But number 4, motion to accept the resignation from Colin Garofalo from the Fallsburg Police Department effective 3/22/25.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Number 5, motion to approve the employment of Gregory Wachter as a plant attendant in the water department with a salary of $51,147.20 and a start date of 3/17/25.
Motion.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Number 6, motion to approve the employment of Chris Feldner as a plant attendant in the water department with a salary of $51,147.20 and a start date of 4/7/25.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Number 7, this is something we usually pass 99.9% of the time. This is where a establishment puts in for a liquor license. It's usually a 30-day waiting period, but the local jurisdiction has the ability to waive that waiting period. And, we've pretty much always done it. So we're gonna, try to advance that as well here. Number 7, motion to approve 30-day advance notice for a liquor license to Sushi Tokyo located at 1188 New York 52, Lock Sheldrake, New York.
Motion.
Wait. Just to make sure it's clarified of record, it should be approved a waiver of the 30-day advance notice.
Motion to approve a 30-day,
It should be a waiver.
should,
Approve a waiver of
of a
30 days.
30-day. Motion to approve a waiver of a 30-day advance notice for a liquor license to Sushi Tokyo Upstate LLC located at 1188 New York 52, Lock Sheldrake, New York.
Motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So, we had a public hearing on this last meeting, the meeting before. This is in relation to amending the Town of Fallsburg noise control law. The primary change is simply to, when the law was changed last time, about 2 years ago, it failed to put in provision that prohibited outdoor speakers and PA systems, which was always prohibited in the town, but in the last revision was left out. So we're looking to just close that loophole. Number 8, resolution number 17 of 2025, authorizing adoption of the town board of the town of Fallsburg of local law 2 of 2025, a local law to amend the town of Fallsburg noise control law.
Motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. So this one is for the spring cleanup. On May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, any town resident can bring one covered pickup truck of household refuse to the wastewater treatment plant on Route 42. We do this every year, and it's going to be free of charge. Resolution number 20 of 2025, approving sponsoring the 2025 spring cleanup for the town of Fallsburg residents on May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 4th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. So, this one requires a little bit of explaining. So, the Loch Sheldrick wastewater treatment plant is an MBR type plant, which is a membrane bioreactor. Essentially uses pumps to force effluent through a series of membranes and filters, and it does need to be replaced every like 8 to 10 years. We still have some life left on the current ones. However, we've received notification that next month they're going to be raising the prices drastically due to inflation, but they will allow us to purchase it now, lock in the price, and then we can warehouse it, and for when we actually have to replace it. There's a number of cassettes that are going to be replaced over the course of the next 3 to 5 years or so, or 3 to 8 years, and we'll have it on hand to use when we need it without having to worry about the added price. The price tag is approximately $731,000, which is going to be financed over an 8-year period, which is about $90,000 a year. So, resolution number 21 of 2025, approving Veolia membrane replacement agreement dated 2/14/25 for Loch Sheldrick wastewater treatment plant located at 1077 New York 52.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Next one, so this was a DASNY grant. It was a state and municipalities grant that was given to us by former Assemblywoman Aileen Gunther prior to leaving office. It's a $125,000 grant to replace approximately 25 fire hydrants throughout the town that have been, we have a program to replace 10 every year. That easily goes with like car accidents and things like that, but we have so many more in town that need replacing and need rehabilitating. This is going to be, we have a list of fire hydrants throughout the town representing all the hamlets, and this is going to go towards replacing those. It's about 25 fire hydrants. So resolution number 22 of 2025, authorizing execution of documents and certifications required by DASNY in connection with the state and municipalities' purchase and installation of fire hydrants throughout the town, project ID 28174.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. So this one needs a little bit of explaining as well. So in the last CSEA contract, which covers most of our town employees, the prior administration did come to an agreement on a contract, and they've executed that contract, but now we're in the process of negotiating the next contract, and we found that we don't have a signed agreement in place, so we can't compel the previous supervisor to come in and sign it. So essentially this would basically the board can give me authorization to sign on behalf of the town, so that we have one on file. So resolution number 23 of 2025, ratifying memorandum of agreement by and between Civil Service Employees Association Local 1000, AFSME, AFL-CIO, Town of Fallsburg Unit, Sullivan County Local 853, and Town of Fallsburg, signed April 3rd, 2023, and authorizing the supervisor to sign the agreement by and between the Town of Fallsburg and CSCA Local 1000, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, Town of Fallsburg Unit 8805, Sullivan County Local 853, effective January 1st, 2023, and ending December 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Are you in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Motion passes. Number 13. So this one also requires some explanation. So I guess years ago, there's a property, a fuel storage property near Fallsburg Lumber, called, I guess it's owned by LL Fuel Storage, LLC. I guess they had a spill there many years ago, and falls under the brownfield cleanup program, you know, where they have to monitor and remediate the soil over many years until such time where, you know, they've determined that it's no longer polluted. So they need to install three groundwater monitoring stations, sampling stations, and the most appropriate place would be next door, which is Fallsburg Lumber. However, that's privately owned and they're not willing to give permission to do that. So the very next property after that is the municipal parking lot near Landau's. And so they're requesting permission at their cost to install these groundwater monitoring stations, you know, to take sampling. It's a benefit to the town also because they will be able to furnish us with a report, which they're not normally required to do, and it'll help us determine if there's any, you know, if it leached all the way out to that property, or if it hasn't, but at least it gives us an idea of where that's the quality of the soil in that location. So we're just entering the agreement to do that. So Resolution 24 of 2025 authorizing permission for property access groundwater monitoring well installations and sampling. Railroad Plaza Extension, Griff Court, SBL number 52-5-1, Fallsburg, New York, to DT Consulting Services Incorporating, which is DTCS, Bellucci Engineering PLLC, located at the municipal parking lot located at the intersection of Griff Court and Railroad Plaza Extension, Fallsburg, New York, to install and monitor 3 groundwater monitoring wells. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next one has to do with the wastewater treatment plant upgrade. Essentially, we need to establish as a board that this is in the public interest. It's one of the many long checklist items that we need to go through in order to get this done. And one of the first things we have to do is establish that upgrading the plant is in the public interest. So Resolution 25 of 2025, establishing public interest order in the matter of the increase and improvement of facilities of the Fallsburg Consolidated Sewer District in the town of Fallsburg, Sullivan County, New York. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. And then the next step to this would be a bond resolution authorizing issuance of up to $110 million in bonds. We don't anticipate that it'll cost us that much, but this is the top level that we can draw from. It doesn't mean that we're gonna be borrowing $110 million and putting it in the bank. We draw from the funds as necessary. We draw from the funds as necessary, but the intention is still to put in for, you know, we have a $10 million grant that was awarded to us. You know, there's, I think, about $25 million in interest-free loans that we're applying for, as well as other grants we're applying for. But part of those conditions is that we have to certify that we have funding secured, and that it's a done deal, we are moving forward before we can even apply for some of these grants. So this puts us in a position where we're saying that we are moving forward. With or without the grants, we have to move forward, but you know, it's still a years-long process, and we're still going to be putting in for as many grants as we can get our hands on. So Resolution 26 of 2025, bond resolution dated March 18, 2025, authorizing the issuance of $110 million bonds, $110 million bond in the of the town of Fallsburg, Sullivan County, New York, to pay the cost of the increase and improvement of the facilities of the Fallsburg Consolidated Sewer District in the town of Fallsburg, Sullivan County, New York. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes 4 out of 5.
Make a roll call, Mike, make a roll call vote.
All right, Councilman Steingart,
Yes.
Councilman Weaver,
Yes.
Councilwoman Behan,
Yes.
Supervisor Ben Simon is a yes. So all 4 voted yes. And this is one of those things that requires a roll call vote where we go on record indicating, who's a yes, who's a no, who's abstains, who's, All right, next, this also has to do with the wastewater treatment plant. So as part of the new technology that we're gonna be upgrading to is an MBR type membrane bioreactor, which essentially uses pumps to push effluent through, a series of filters. It requires us, the technology uses a tremendous amount more energy and more electricity to effectuate, and as a result, we are required, NYSEG is required to come in and upgrade our power lines, so to speak. So they have given us I believe a quote of about $1.7 million to upgrade our power lines to a substantial amount of power that we can draw from. And that's, I believe, it's one of the first steps in the upgrade process. So Resolution 27 of 2025 accepting the NYSEG March 7, 2025 letter of intent for electrical service upgrades for the Fallsburg Consolidated Sewer District. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Next up has to do with our yearly annual audit. There's an external audit that's done by RBT Accounting, which does our external audit for the town. But that covers the town itself. The Justice Court has to do its own external audit, and under a separate agreement, we're entering into an agreement with them to provide auditing services for the Justice Court. I believe they're quoting us $5,500 to perform the audit. So number 17, Resolution 28 of 2025, authorizing the town of Fallsburg to retain RBT to conduct the annual audit of the town of Fallsburg Justice Court.
Motion.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Next up is essentially to just authorize the town engineer to be the responsible charge for technical consultants. Our town engineer will be dealing with other engineering firms directly without the firms having to go to the board for pretty much any and all communication. He would act as our messenger, our representative to any technical consultants that we ever have to deal with, especially since some of us may not have the technical expertise to know what it is that they're doing for the town. Our town engineer only has that expertise and then some. So Resolution 29 of 2025 to authorize town engineer as responsible charge for technical consultants.
Motion.
I have a
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. So next up has to do with the O&W Never Sink Crossing project. That's the bridge that's supposed to link the two sides of the rail trail. As part of the process to get that built, we're gonna need to get some equipment onto that property to perform work like clearing trees and things of that sort. However, really the only way to adequately access that property would be to go through the Fallsburg and Rock Tavern Rod and Gun Club. So officially we can't just trespass on their property. We're gonna enter into a temporary construction easement with them to give us permission to go onto their property to perform the work. So Resolution 30 of 2025 authorizing the town of Fallsburg to accept a temporary construction easement between the town of Fallsburg and Rock Tavern Rod and Gun Club in connection with the Sullivan O&W Rail Trail Never Sink Trail Gap construction.
Motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So I have two add-ons tonight to our agenda. I believe we all have a copy. So as part of the rail trail project, we are required to clear a series of trees to be able to give us access, and time is of the essence. We have to have it done by March 31st, otherwise the next step in the process would get delayed, and it's going to cause a, it's going to reverberate down the line. So following our procurement policy, we sent out 3 or 4 requests for quotes, and we received quotes anywhere between $13,000 and $30,000, with the lowest bid, or the lowest quote at $13,000 from Tree Stockers Tree Care LLC.
Mike, make that 13,200.
Is it a typo?
It's not, they just had to adjust.
They have to adjust it. All right, so the new quote, which is still the lowest quote, the next one up is $17,000, and then the other two were in the $20,000 range, is $13,200 to complete the tree work over, the Neversink crossing project. So, number 20, motion to approve low bid to Tree Stockers Tree Care LLC in the amount of $13,200 to complete tree work on the Neversink Bridge portion of the Sullivan O&W Rail Trail to be paid through a SAM grant 24591.
Motion.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Just to clarify, this is not gonna be a town charge, this is part of existing grants that's already paying for the project, so they're gonna be paying for this as well. And number 21, motion to approve town board minutes dated 3/4/2025. This was the last meeting after the public hearing. Do I have a motion to approve town board minutes?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. Since our discussion item is no longer on the agenda, I will accept any motion on any other matter, or motion to adjourn. Motion to go into executive, whatever. Do we need to go into executive? All right.
Contract negotiations.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session to discuss contract negotiations.
Motion over there, second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. We do not anticipate any further business tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I'd like to continue to see more participation and more attendance at these meetings. And with that, we are adjourned.